Good morning, minions, and welcome to another episode of No More Mr. Fat Guy TV. Now we're continuing our little plod through the alphabet, and this week we've arrived at the letter H. Now obviously, as I usually do, I sort of have a little bit of a think about what we could be talking about that could be relevant to these kind of things that I talk about on a fairly regular basis. And the obvious ones that stood out were things like health. I'd say, that's as a general sort of theme. The word heart came to mind, particularly as a heart foundation fundraiser, and also the concept of following your heart and heart health and that kind of thing. And there were a few others that sort of slipped my mind at the moment, but the one that I've actually settled on, I think in many ways, if you can actually take it and apply it in different ways and cover all those aspects, is basically the word happiness. Because I think there's sort of a few sides to it. First of all, it was like kind of a lack of happiness. It's sort of unhappiness that actually ultimately leads to I think most people that sort of have issues and sort of find that their life is frustrating, and get to the point where they feel as though things haven't panned out the way that they wanted them to, or life just isn't necessarily as fulfilling as they feel it should be. That builds up that that incredible sort of momentum of unhappiness inside, and that can quite often act as the sort of the trigger point for making the kind of change that we talk about from time to time. By the same sort of token, really, on the sort of the other side, the flip side of that, is that I actually believe that life itself, we kind of get sold this this sort of idea. Wherever you happen to grow up, it'll vary from what you're born into, where you're born, country-wise, the kind of society you're born into, and the kind of expectations that are placed on you. But I think the vast majority of people that perhaps are going to be watching this video, sort of the template that's given to you from birth is pretty much one of going to school, basically doing as well as you can at school, getting qualified, going out into the world of work and finding a career. One that you've probably had to choose at the age of 12, 13 or 14, and then aim to work towards getting that. Even though by the time you get to 25 or 21 or 30, you may be a completely different person. Then at some point you're going to be you're going to meet it's going to be boy meets girl, girl meets boy, fall in love, get married, have 2.4 children, a family dog, a family cat, and one holiday per year. And this is all going to be funded by this career that you've basically you found yourself in, that you chose at the age of 14, and that's completely fulfilling you. And you do that until the age of 60. Actually, they've probably just moved the barriers now. You do that to the age of about 70. Then you retire, and then you can spend whatever years you got left, doing actively pursuing sort of like leisure interests. And that's really that's the overall story that we all get told, and that's the recipe for happiness. And I don't believe that most of us actually find that it turns out that way. I believe that most of us find that that story will be lacking in some way. I'd actually think that the people that do manage to, there are people that manage to sort of like hit all the right sort of buttons and happen to make the right choices, and I think they're very, very lucky. I think there are people that follow that template to the almost to the letter and find that it works for them perfectly, and they do happen to get exactly the right job and exactly the right other person, and they manage to choose exactly the right breed of dog, and and they do find that their life is just happy, naturally happy. But I think for most of us, we probably need to understand that we shouldn't be chasing happiness, that happiness isn't really a goal. Happiness is actually something that informs, in many ways informs the decisions we make as we plod our way through life, as we sort of follow that overall sort of, that framework. I mean, there's absolutely probably, you can't say there's anything wrong with any of that, but it's the place from which we kind of make the decisions, because I think what we're expecting, or certainly I think what I was expecting, let's put it that way, and I'll just project it onto all three of you that are going to watch this video, that you kind of follow that, and if you follow that, then happiness is a result, basically, because you follow that recipe, and at the end of it out comes this happy life. And it actually, from what I can tell now, from having gone through a few decades of frustration and increasing frustration, and now there's a total of about 3 years, probably 4 years now, going through a process of slowly unravelling everything that was making me feel unhappy. It's actually, you need to connect with the thing that you basically need to feel happy inside. You need to connect with the things that actually truly sort of make you shine from inside, the things that actually inspire you and the things that motivate you. Because excuse me, if you basically concentrate first of all on feeling happy inside, you sort of embrace life, and you sort of take a positive attitude towards life, and start getting clear in your own mind about how you want life to feel and how you want life to be, and the kind of experiences and people and events that would really make up a good life for yourself, and basically hold on to those and let them inspire you and let those light you up inside. When you start feeling happy and positive inside, that's the point where you start making decisions and you start seeing things through sort of a positive happiness filter, where you can imagine that if you happen to be in the right sort of place, the right perspective and the right mindset right at the start of this tale, then you are going to make all the right decisions, and you will have chosen exactly the right career, because you will have chosen the career that's inspiring you and lighting you up inside. So okay, so that one's ticked off. And then you're going to be, you're not going to be settling for second best, or you're not just going to like find somebody that you think ticks your boxes in terms of being your ideal partner. You actually genuinely sort of go out and search for somebody, and not give up that search until you find the person who meets exactly the specifications, if you like, that of being the one for you and being the one that lights you up and makes you happy. Your overall shape. If you've got ambitions to do certain things, then you'll be actively pursuing those as part of your day-to-day life, and not just thinking, when I get to the age of 70, I'll get 5-10 years of being able to do what I really want. You start applying that filter and that lens to every single decision point in your life, and every the way that you operate within life, and the way that you just show up in the world, and the way that you sort of communicate and interact with people, and the way that you approach things. So if you're coming from that place of happiness inside, then you are going to be basically bringing into your life exactly the things that you want. And at the same time filtering out things that don't match the things that don't pass the happiness test. I think, but really, it's almost as though, if you feel happy inside and you get that sort of feeling inside, then you'll automatically be rejecting things that start making you feel less than that. Things that start working against. Start working against that, start undermining that feeling. You actually just instinctively feel that they're wrong for you, and you push those away. And so if we go back to the people that appear to be lucky, the people that appear to have basically stumbled into exactly the right things along the way, I think they've been lucky that not so much lucky, but they've started off at a point where they happen to have, you know, that right level of happiness. You know, they haven't let, you know, they basically, I think most people are probably fairly happy as kids. You know, you're sort of carefree, innocent sort of babies and toddlers and so on, and then sort of like certain things might happen along the way that either start blocking that and pushing you down another route and taking your thinking to other places. And I think it's like the people that have managed to avoid that and the people that have managed to escape having too much damage inflicted by that, you know, by those kind of things. You know, they're the ones that you see and go, oh, they were lucky and this worked out for them that way, and they happened to meet that person and so on and so forth. And yeah, the biggest example I can think of is actually my parents. I mean, I'm going to put it on record now, actually, because I've actually blogged before previously about not wanting my parents' life, about, you know, just looking at it and thinking how dull it was, because, you know, at the end of the day, what they do with their life doesn't necessarily suit mine, because I've got bigger goals and bigger dreams to go out and do other stuff. But the actual detail of a life doesn't matter. It's just that for individual people, you know, what makes them happy is what makes them happy. And I've got to say, hats off to you, Mum and Dad. You're a shining example of you know, how great life can actually be if you do approach it in a happy way, and if you do approach it in a positive way. I know that, like, you've had each other for years and years, and you know, you've been together and you support each other, and you're just so happy together, and you're happy with your family, and you know, it's amazing to see, and it's exactly the kind of thing that I think everybody deserves, but in their own way. I mean, and if getting to that level of happiness involves, you know, doing crazy things, or just doing things that seem a little bit different, or, you know, you don't have to follow somebody else's pattern for happiness. But at the end of the day, the general principle's got to be that, you know, you're happy inside, and you know, once you're happy inside, and you can connect and you can click and understand what it is that actually does make you happy, and the things that you want in your life, then that's really when life will basically deliver exactly what you've already decided upon inside, and that's really the secret of happiness, I guess, is that you've got to feel happy first. If you feel happy first, then life will deliver. You can't be unhappy and expect life to magically you know, turn things up for you that where happiness is going to be a result. And on that note, I think I will end here. And it is probably a bit of a rambling one today. It's a bit of a fuzzy topic, but I just yeah, look, to be happy, or to have a happy life, I think you need to be happy, and so if you work on that, work on you know, feeling positive, work on finding what's positive in your life, focus on the things that you actually yeah, you know already inside, the things that do make you happy, and just think about those and concentrate on those, and allow yourself to dream and allow yourself to go after those things, and that will light you up. And as soon as you start lighting yourself up from inside and being positive and being happy, that's when life will change around you, and you will start having the life that you did actually dream of. So, on that note, I'm going to let you all go, and I'll speak to you next week. And I hope you have a very, very happy weekend and a very happy week, and very, very happy lives. See ya.